Hey, welcome back to the channel. So recently I haven't been flying too much lately, but I do have a check ride coming up soon. So I decided to go with my instructor and get some pointers and try to knock the rust off. So that's what this video is about. Hope you enjoy it.
There we go. Yeah, once you hear the engine pop online, just pull the throttle back so you don't overspeed it, back to 1,000. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Don't forget to lean, especially in the summer days, right? So like when it's summer, higher density altitude, now you need even less fuel going to the engine.
Yeah.
So if you don't lean, like for instance, I have a buddy, he flies a lot, and he texted me there, he's like, yo, I flew this one plane, I had magneto problems during the magneto check.
Fouled up because all the fuel?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, did you lean for taxi? He's like, a little bit, and I'm like, it's the summer, dude, you gotta lean even more.
Yeah.
So when you get to the magneto check, it was all fouled up, he didn't get the right magneto check.
Going out, somewhere 299. Alright, left runway 28 right, approaching you, also landing runway 28 left. Runway 28 right, tower frequency 125.7. NOTAMs, runway 28 right, rails, and Julian VOR, unserviceable. Use caution for cranes at the vicinity airport. Advise on initial contact, you have AS information. K-back.
K-back. Okay. While I get the taxi clearance, you can just work on the panel and all that stuff, because I know how to taxi and all that shit.
Yep.
Montgomery Ground, good afternoon. Skyhawk 734 Delta November, spot 2 with K-back, looking for eastbound departure.
This is 734 Delta November, ground runway 28 right, taxi via Juliet Hotel Alpha.
Juliet Hotel Alpha, runway 28 right, 734 Delta November. Alright, got the controls, we're coming forward. Yep. Oh dude, look, the old ass truck is back, but it's not back in the club.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I texted the co-owner, I'm like, so you putting it back in the club? Because if so, I'll fly the shit out of it.
It's looking good over there.
Yeah, it's only because I think they're trying to sell it.
Yeah.
Well, and they're not even selling the whole bird. I think they're just selling it for parts, which is a damn shame.
That's really unfortunate.
We've had some fun in that plane.
Yeah.
Montgomery Ground, Skyhawk November 96621, executive request taxi for a westbound departure with Quebec.
System Manager 6621, ground runway 28 left, taxi via Juliet Hotel Bravo.
28 left via Juliet Hotel Bravo 621.
Oh, you're going to have fun with the crosswinds today, too, coming back here into Montgomery.
Yeah, notice it looked like the wind actually changed directions.
Yeah.
From when I was earlier.
And when it does, I'm like, dude, Tower, when are you going to just shift to runway 23? Come on.
Yeah, really.
Delta taxi back to coast.
I'm going to treat this like a check ride in the essence that, once you show me you do it right, we're done. Like, we're not going to keep washing and rinsing and repeating, because I know you've been practicing the hell out of this in the simulator and the airplane, so once you nail a short field, we're done. Once you nail a short soft field, we're done.
Okay,
We're not
sounds
going to
good.
keep beating the dead horse. Cool. All right, so taking off here.
Certain type you want to do?
We could do, let's do a soft field takeoff, just so we can knock that guy out.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. That's one of the key first things people forget. It's like, ah, damn, I just busted it already. Cool. Right. Yeah, we'll do a soft field, and then, yeah, don't forget your standard dead reckoning things. Hint, hint. That's a good way to bust your initial part of your dead reckoning, your flight plan. I've seen DPs screw guys just for that, and you're like, come on, bro.
Right.
Start that. Once you start to go apply full throttle, hit it. All right, 125.7, you're up with them.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Montgomery Tower, Cessna 734 Delta November, holding short of 28 right for eastbound departure.
So 734 Delta November, Montgomery Tower, make a right downwind departure, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Right downwind departure, 28 right, clear for takeoff for Delta November.
Nice job.
4567 Tango.
Man, that was efficient. Usually, it's funny? I think because it's been so fucking hot, like the fall, spring, and winter, this box is usually full, and like there's a bunch of people lined up. I really do think the hot weather has been scaring people off.
Yeah, I believe it.
Your final's looking clear.
Final's clear. All right, I'm staying off the brakes here. And
Keep talking. Yep.
And we're going to rotate full throttle, start the watch.
A little bit of back stick.
A little back stick, oh yeah. No, we're still pretty far back. All right, P's and P's are in the green.
Get that wheelie going.
Yep, it's getting light.
There you go.
There it goes. Right rudder, keep the nose down a little bit.
All right rudder. There we go. Ground effect, ground effect, ground effect.
All right, there's 60. Laps up. Full pitch for VY.
Just be careful about climbing out prior to VX. So VX in this bird's 59.
Right.
Be careful about climbing out prior to that because the ACS says attain at least.
Hold this real quick.
You bet. I got it. No, you're good. On your ride, you can kind of like fold this thing up to make it useful information only. All right, cool. We'll keep flying the airspeed and stuff you need for dead reckoning.
All right, there. Once we get to 900, we're at 70. All right, we'll turn. Cross 17. Yeah, no, I was a little bit on the brakes there, and I was like, I readjusted that, and it kind of threw me off a bit.
Yeah, so part of the reason that nose carries so far to the left is P factor, right? We're already sticking that prop in there. The other technique I teach is add only half power. That way you're going to have less left turning tendency.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then once it starts rolling, then add the rest of your power, and then add more right rudder. Because that would have been passable, but you did.
Oh, I could do so much better. That was trash. I'm sorry, but
no, you're good. And also stay a little lower in ground effect. I know you know how to do that.
Yeah.
8 Quebec Alpha. That's the traffic hazard in sight.
So what are we using for guidance right now?
Well, I was using pilotage because I was going to head just straight towards Cow's Mountain.
Sure, but I know you have GPS waypoints in there.
We do. I have the VPSCM for Cow's Mountain.
Yeah. How do you know you're flying to them, though, is what I'm saying.
Well, I could follow the magenta line or turn this on.
Is your magenta line working for you?
Not, I'm on the VIA.
Yep, there you go. So right there, what I was doing right there, that's how a DPE, default nav, that's how a DPE is going to be nice to you. That's his way of saying, hey, dude, you better turn that thing, no, other one. Go cancel. Hit the CDI.
Oh, CDI, okay, there we go.
That's how a DPE is going to be nice to you on a check ride. If he's being mean, he's going to be like, are you doing GPS guidance right now?
Yeah.
And you're going to say, well, yeah.
I should have turned
pilotage. He's be like, well, you're in the green needle, so you just failed that portion right there.
Yeah, I should have changed that on the ground.
Yep. That's another thing. Like in the run-up right there, yeah, sure, it's a friend flight, so we kind of just get going.
Yeah.
But on your check ride, before you call for takeoff, make sure your magenta needles, make sure all your shit's in there, all that stuff.
I'm used to doing that on the kind of the flow, like do radios, GPS stuff, but that was...
Take your time.
Yeah.
All right, so now what you're going to want to say, hey, our next waypoint is whatever it is. We should get there at how much time, whatever time you're calculating.
Yeah, it should be pretty much about 5 minutes to Cow's Mountain.
So the other thing you can do to synchronize your GPS, hit the D there and activate.
Right.
Bottom right.
Activate, correct.
Boom. Now you can fly your GPS steer.
Right. Okay, cool. I like that.
And then you want to put that blue track vector on the pink. Make the blue meet the pink. You see that little arrow? It's calculating wind correction angle for you. That's why I'm not a huge fan of all this bullshit you have to do with an E6B plotter, because like the fucking system does it for you.
We should be right at 3,500 by the time we hit Cow's Mountain.
Yeah.
But it kind of works out to be the top of climb.
Yep.
Also, which is really nice.
The other thing you could be doing too, put 3.5 in your altitude bug.
Oh, right.
Remember, we're going to bug everything.
29.
36 traffic to follow.
Today I'm looking for you to bug.
Looking for traffic, crew check 386 and half
almost right on the dot. You're hitting 5 minutes just now. So what you want to say, look at your watch every now and then. Be like, hey, we're at 5 minutes. Okay, we should see Cow's Mountain below us soon because we're at 5 minutes. I'm looking down below and I'm looking at my chart.
Yep.
Sure enough, there's Cow Mountain. So it looks like we're just about 10 seconds behind. But we're almost already altitude, so that's why you can, push the nose down a little bit to get back more on your timeline. Okay. It's mostly because you've been climbing at 70, 71, and it's hot as fuck outside, so the density altitude's screwing you up a little bit.
Gotcha. Number 2.
There we go. And so now, once you reach your next waypoint,
I'm gonna look for the next heading.
Yep. So your next heading, and then also, hey, how much time on this leg? When do we expect to get to the next leg?
About 2, just close to 2, about 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. So we should get there at 7.3.
7.3 minutes.
So yeah, once you cross over Cow's, be like, hey, next waypoint is going to be such and such. We got to turn to heading such and such. This is our altitude. So some people use the 6 T's. Time, how much time left to the next waypoint? Turn, we're going to turn to a heading of whatever. Transition, what altitude do I need? What airspeed do I need? And then talk, do I need to talk to anyone? On that note, there is a radio frequency you need to be up with right now.
Yeah, the 122.75.
75. And then whatever airspeed you have your cruise predicated on, which I think is
110.
Yeah.
Oh shit, so we were going really slow today, but
Yeah,
I guess
I mean, y'all probably have to max blast it. I would just firewall it.
okay.
As long as you don't redline in these things, you're good to go.
1500 proceeding.
Watch that altitude, 3.5. You have a 100-foot altitude tolerance on a check ride. Now is when you're going to see the nitpicky side of me. Alright, so KC, there we are, we're at 7.5, or 7 point. So now look at your watch, be like, hey, we arrived at 8 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yep.
We're about, 40 seconds late. Now do your 6 T's right here.
So turn, and then we're going to be 4-2.
Or you can use what this thing says, your desired track. So there's a way to set up desired track. You go hit menu, you're going to hit up change user fields. Let's turn that shit into desired track.
Yeah, instead of just track.
There we go, boom, now it's up there for you. And then if you're not synchronized, again, hit D and activate again. So this guy right here, D.
That's D, yeah.
And activate. So boom, now you got a direct to, now put the blue on the pink.
It should be like Jennings.
Yep.
Right in front of us, the weird kind of shape.
Yep,
Like,
so when are we supposed to get there?
we're supposed to get there, it's 10 minutes, so we have 1 minute to get there. That's 3 miles, so that's going to be just about right.
Yeah, so we're about, we caught back up.
Yeah, so we're
those
about 2 miles a minute, just under it, so.
Good. And then are we climbing after Lake Jennings?
Oh, we are, so that's going to be the edge of the Bravo, so we can start to climb.
Yep. We can put this away for now.
Okay.
So that's the idea of dead reckoning, right? Like, so think about your times, your next heading. You need to tell them what your next waypoint is. When you're arriving at the waypoint, be like, hey, we're approximately at our time. I'm looking below me for a lake right now. Oh, there's a lake. Let's crossing over. Yeah, so that's pilotage combined with dead reckoning. All right. So, flying along here, and let's say your oil pressure light starts to drop.
I'm going to immediately want to look for a place to land.
Let's say Gillespie's not here.
Gillespie's not here, well, that valley right there, we could land.
Yeah, but
it on a
right now,
simulator.
well, what's the next thing you're going to do? We can start our climb.
Okay. Oil pressure light.
Yeah, like no kidding, your oil pressure, it's not in the green right now, it's below that white line right there.
Yeah.
What's the other thing you're going to
So
do?
I'm going to look at the temperature, because I don't want to have high oil temperature, low oil pressure, and the hot lop, that's about the worst case scenario.
Yeah, your temperature's holding for now, right now it looks like.
Yeah, so it could just be a bad gauge.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just letting the scenario play out. I've actually had a hot lop before. The next thing I did, or initially it started off as low oil pressure, so I started to climb, because altitude is insurance, right?
Right.
So the first thing I did was like, okay, I'm going to climb. Lowering the power at this point isn't going to do you any good. Actually, keeping the power in is going to keep your oil pressure up. Now, if oil temperature started to rise, then I would start pulling back the power, because that could theoretically bring down the oil temperature. But right now, like if I saw oil pressure, what are some initial thoughts you had? Okay, oil temperature is staying the same. Gillespie's not here. All you have is Ramona. Let's give it a heading of 090.
San Diego East, Cessna 734, Delta November, maneuvering 5,500 LCAP, San Diego East.
Cool. All right, temperature's starting to climb a little bit here, because we've been in a nose high climb for so long.
Yeah, well, I would reduce power and try to put nose down.
All right, partial power loss simulated.
All right, I'm going to immediately go through my ABCs. So first,
All right, your engine's on fire.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close everything, mixture off.
You have a checklist for that?
I do have a checklist for that.
Let's go for that.
Okay.
So yeah, the fires are immediate in nature, but there's some steps in there. Yeah, you would right, kill the fire first, of your fire triangle, but there's a little step in there you don't want to immediately do. So let's see here. So engine fire, mixture, cut off.
Mixture cut off, fuel selector off, master switch off.
Are you going to kill that master switch quite yet?
No.
What would you do first?
Well, I would make my radio calls.
Yeah, radio call.
Yep, so I go.
Get one out. So 119.6, SoCal approach. Hey, Mayday, 734 Delta November, engine fire in flight, putting it down over Vista, Alpine.
Right.
All right, cool. Keep going through the rest of the checklist. Now you would shut the master off.
Yeah, now I'd shut the master off. I'd pitch for, best air, well, no, engine fire, so I actually.
Boom, your engine just died.
So in that case, but I'm not on fire?
You're on fire. You're still on fire.
I'm going to go down and pitch for, over 100.
What's the rest of the checklist say? Cabin heat and air?
Yeah, cabin heat and air. So
shut these fuckers
pull those off, that off. I'd go pitch for, 100.
Yep. So now is where they're saying try to blow the fire out.
Right.
That's what you're going to go for here.
Right. Here we
All right,
go.
so we're coming down. We'll say that's 100 right there.
Okay.
Fire's out.
Fire's out. All right, now I'm going to pitch for best glide.
Yeah, exactly.
65.
So now that the fire's out, yeah, we're still to land immediately, but there's no sense in dive bombing at the ground if the fire has extinguished. Now we're concerned about getting a nice buttery landing. But if that fire was still if the engine was still on fire, well, we don't want to catch on fire. So I'd rather get this thing on the ground. But if the fire...
12 o'clock. Low. 1 mile.
All right, we'll wave off from this. Pull power in, or push power in. We'll get out of here. Good. You got the scenario down. Just the one thing I wanted to evaluate there is everybody wants to just flip that master switch off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make a radio call.
Yeah.
You got to,
Well, it's not a huge... let's come around to the left.
Okay.
It's not a huge talking point because...
There's the traffic.
Got him. It's not a huge... let's just keep coming west. You'll clear him.
What is that? It's like a pretty big plane. The low as fuck.
Super decathlon, maybe?
Oh, okay.
So it's not a huge concern that you didn't make your radio call?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 1 o'clock low, he's breaking away. Looks like a military plane, huh?
Yeah, it did. That's what I was thinking too.
It's not a huge concern because at the end of the day, you aviated first, you fought the fire, right? You navigated, you're like, hey, I gotta pick a good place to land.
Then communicate.
Communication's last.
Right.
So you did a good job there, but if you want to make that a buttery EP, I would at least try to get a Mayday out. I would even also try to get a 7700 out there, get that last little blip of energy saying, hey, you got a plane in an emergency. Busy as fuck out here.
San Diego East, Cessna 734, Delta November, 5,500, 3 miles east of El Cap, San Diego East.
All right, slow flight. And, you're almost a private pilot, so I'm going to have you shoot for 55 knots.
Okay. All right, so...
And I want you to do it in the dirty configuration.
Right.
What does that mean to you? What airspeed are you actually going to target?
Little 60.
Yeah, plus 10 minus 0 is your tolerance.
We're already within the wide arc, so I'll do...
All right, so I'm grading you off of 5560 because that's where you initiated. I'm grading you off of 0888.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to keep you honest. Whatever you start the maneuver at, that's what I'm grading you off of.
There's our 60. Full flaps. Give it a little more power. Nose down.
4,600 doing...
And you got right to 55.
Yeah.
So you nailed the maneuver, but man, you rushed the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you, you rushed the shit out of that. All right, cool. So bring me to a heading of 050. Remember, you're losing vertical component of lift, so what do we have to do?
Give it more power. And
yeah, give it some juice. Let's bring it back to 050. Keep that scan going, right? Airspeed first, altitude second, heading third. This is all good stuff for instruments. There we go, so we'll roll out on 050. Remember the 50% rule. So if you're using 10 degrees angle of bank, roll out 5 degrees prior for slow flight. You should only be using 10 degrees angle of bank really for this. Let's come back over 120.
120? Okay.
All right, keep that scan coming in. Airspeed, altitude, heading, look outside. Airspeed, altitude, heading, look outside. All right, cool. Show me a power-off stall. So remember, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do the descending power-off stall,
Yeah, that's
or you can do straight and level, whatever you want to do.
There we go. So I'm going to pull back, power idle.
Okay.
Leg coordinated.
We'll do it to a full brake. Sorry, I should have specified that.
Over Ramona dirt strip, 5,600 climbing 6.
All right. RV, full power, 10 degrees of flaps.
Good. Nice.
Nose
Hold
up.
that heading. Don't get outside of 130 degrees. There
Okay.
you go. You're holding heading nicely.
All right, we have VX, and we are now positive ready to climb, so 10
Good.
degrees.
There you go.
The nose down, so you don't blow it
There
out.
you go. Good.
And
Good.
VX again, positive rate, last notch of flaps, and we've recovered.
Good job.
We're,
There we go.
We're almost at where we're supposed to be.
Yep. So you did a good job. That was a textbook right there. The only thing is your heading. Stay within tolerance.
Yeah.
But again, what is the thing that gets a lot of guys? They'll do all the monkey skills right. They'll achieve their VX or VY. They'll dump the flaps up. Let's come back around to left. We'll go more towards El Cap. They'll do all that crap right. But then their heading gets out because remember when you bring the nose way up, you got that P factor. Nose is going to swing way over to the left. Now you got to add a shit ton of right rudder. Or when the nose goes down, it's going to swing way to the right. So it just depends. So make sure you keep that head in. I know there's a lot of other things going on, but you're at the point in your career now where you have control of the airplane. You know what you're doing.
Okay.
So just add that head in into your scan. But no, that was within tolerance. You only came outside by about 8 or 9 degrees.
Cool.
Let's follow the 8. And then we'll follow the 8 kind of on like a 270 heading, and then we'll go into everyone's favorite, power on stalls.
All right.
Alright, and my pre-brief for power on stall, if we do go into a spin, I'll immediately take controls, power, rip it to idle, ailerons neutral, opposite rudder, elevator forward. Another thing to keep in mind, so ForeFlight does a nice thing, it tells you your AGL altitude. Remember, for stalls, we need to be at least 1,500 feet. I had a guy, he crushed this check ride, absolutely crushed it. The DP got him on his AGL altitude on a power off stall, and he's like, look man, you did a great job, I just can't pass you. You were below altitude for your stalls. I'm like, oh, Frank.
Slowing on down. Alright. There's 5-5.
Lots of P factor, lots of P factor.
Go and step on the right rudder.
There you go, good. There's the stall horn, we'll do a full brake. There it is, and good. Left rudder, nice recovery. Very nice, look at that. Right on heading.
Alright.
On out at 75, beautiful. There you go. Done, donezo. That was one of the better power on stalls I've seen. Thanks for not giving me a heart attack. Some people put in too much rudder in one way or the other. I'm like, here we go, we're gonna do another spin. But if you were to spin,
really feel it.
if you started to feel like you're going to spin, rip the first thing you want to do,
power back.
Rip that power back, and then opposite rudder. How do you know which way you're turning in a spin?
Oh, I mean, I know they say you can't see it, but it's pretty obvious. I mean,
it is obvious, but what if you get so disoriented where you're like, I don't even know which way I'm spinning. I'm freaking out. I don't know which way I'm spinning.
I'd use, well, there's two things. I'd say look at your attitude indicator.
Turn coordinator. So if we're spinning left, that thing's going to dip left.
Okay, so you think that's more valuable information than your attitude indicator in that case?
Attitude indicator might be doing fuck all.
Oh, you're right.
The G5.
You can get screwed up because
especially the steam gauges, sometimes those things will be upside down.
Oh, God.
It'll show you that you're upside down.
The other thing I would say is you could fill in the rudders.
You could fill in the rudder.
The one that has the pressure on it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, steep turn. Yeah, let's do a steep turn. I want to see your steep turn action.
Oh, okay.
Don't rush the chap. Power off stall was textbook. Power on stall was textbook. We're going to do a steep turn. You're going to nail it. Yeah, just keep going through chaps. Don't rush that.
Okay.
Roll, set, pull. You roll into 45. You add a little bit of power. You set a little bit of power. You set 2 notches of trim wheel nose up, and then you pull or push depending on airspeed. So that ditty, that mnemonic only works, just like any other maneuver. It only works if you have a good setup. So make sure you have your chaps dialed. There we go, like you have. 90, 5, make sure your level flight VSI. Take your time before any maneuver. People fuck themselves on check rides. They may be really good at this shit, but then when they actually do the maneuver, they rush themselves.
And then S stabilize, I think we're stabilized, I think we're good to go, ready? Somebody one to the left?
That's just speed, but yeah, sure. All right, let's roll.
Oh, speed, yeah. So 90, I like that.
Add a little bit of power, roll right into that 45, set power, set 2 notches of trim wheel, nose up.
Right.
1, 2, there we go, a little more bank.
Okay.
There we go, there's your 45. Good, a little bit of aft stick, don't get too fast. You're holding 5-5 really nice, hold that 45. Look at the engine cowling slicing through the horizon.
Yep, that's
If you feel any change in the G's in your butt, you're probably losing speed or gaining speed. There we go, just let it slice the horizon there. Try not to tilt your head either like a dirt bike. I know it's tempting for us motorcycle riders. Hold that 45.
Yeah, you're right.
Hold that 45. Watch that 45.
Okay. And there's hey, it's in the circuit.
So roll out, pull all the power out.
Power's coming out.
Balloon. And push the nose over.
Yep. And then retrim.
Good. Within 10 degrees, within 10 knots, on altitude. There you go. Let's do one to the right since I just want to see your right. So we're already trimmed in. Really nice job. Use that roll, set, pull. Roll into 45, set the power, set the trim. Roll into that 45, throw it right into that 45. There we go, there's your 45, set the trim, and forward push depending on airspeed. If airspeed increases, pull back. If airspeed decreases, push forward. 3,000. There you go. Now just watch the engine cowling, watch it slice to the horizon, watch that angle of bank. See, we're coming out, we're only at 30 degrees.
Oops, yep.
Go.
We're turning back now, starting our pilot on 275.
Go. Start to pull back on the yoke. We're starting to gain airspeed. There we go. Keep your scan coming. Scan those gauges. Go. There's your 45. 22. Reduce the power. Push the nose over. Bingo. Fuck yeah. 90 knots. 5-5. Right on the money. There you go. Cool. Let's go to Gillespie.
All right.
I'll give you a steer. You could go through the saddle right here.
There we go.
Yeah, right there's probably pretty good.
Mile final, runway 27, clear touch and go.
Alrighty, we can start tuning up Gillespie.
4,500 feet inbound for flow traffic with Bravo. Nearest port.
Advise on initial contact, you have uniform.
Unicorn.
Go Gillespie Tower information, uniform 2247 Zulu. Wind 180 at 10. Got visibility 10. Sky clear.
That's a direct left crosswind.
Altimeter 298. RNet
908.
Runway 17 approaching use, landing and departing. Runway 17. Advise on initial contact, you have uniform.
Running Gillespie.
Tower information, uniform 2247.
1400 for the TPA.
Wind 180.
Yeah.
Gust 16. Visibility 1.
Oh, you're gonna get some crosswinds, boy.
Direct to the left, it seems like.
We'll try to do 27 right. Even though it's a wonky pattern, I kind of want to show it to you.
27 right, okay.
And that way you can do stop and goes. Because I'm only...
That's a bigger runway.
It's a wrong, yeah, you won't be able to do stop and go on 27 left. Runway 290.
I didn't even know they had all when it was open up to
7 Zulu.
You good on the...
Yeah, we're good.
Gillespie Tower, Cap 498, just be advised, I'm at the water.
Turkey Charlie Alpha cross over midfield to join right traffic.
I would get in on that radio call when you can.
Gillespie Tower, Cessna 734, Delta November, 6 miles to the east, requesting 27 right, touch and go.
734 Delta November, Gillespie Tower, make 1 left 360, expect to join right base, correction, left base, runway 17.
Oh, 1700.
Left 360, expect to join left base, 17 traffic in sight for Delta November.
There you go. So some things you're forgetting, just the runway they're telling you. The other thing you keep forgetting is the information code.
Oh, yeah.
They're being nice to you,
Right.
but you got to remember to say with information, whatever.
Gotcha.
All right, dude. I've never well, I've landed at 17 with you that one time, come back from Big Bear. Yeah. But haven't done it other than that. So let's look up what their pattern altitude and all that shit is. This is the kind of stuff you got to think about.
It's 1400 if it's just based on the AGL.
Yeah,
But
and it is.
you think it's, okay.
There we go, 1400.
With them. Okay. 17.
All right, so you're gonna enter a left base now. I would bug in that TPA.
Cherokee 8 Charlie Alpha, traffic follows off your right, turning left base.
We're looking for that traffic, 8 Charlie Alpha.
Number 5 Charlie Alpha, contact SoCal departure 124.35.
Alright, left base.
4.35 for 5 Charlie Alpha.
17, yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, I've never done pattern work for 17, but it's because the winds are... Never mind, you won't be getting crosswinds. They're going to give you a nice headwind.
Flight 364, 6 Golf.
Yeah, it's like right down the pipe too, so.
Yeah,
Alright, so.
this will be good for you, for your maneuvers.
Set up a better base.
Number 2,
We'll turn this up so we can hear them better.
I can barely hear him. That's been.
runway 17 cleared, touch and go, straight out departure approved after.
Clear touch and go 17, number 2, straight out departure, 258 Charlie Alpha.
Roger, Cessna 4 Delta number, you're number 3 following traffic.
You got it.
Runway 17 cleared to land.
Number 3, runway 17, clear to land, 4 Delta November.
Requesting to track localizer Delta 432 Romeo.
23 Romeo, roger, you can continue eastbound, traffic 12 o'clock, 2 miles north.
Really fast.
3,100 descending.
You're extremely fast. I would pull the yoke back and I'd pull the power back.
We're basically in neutral.
Frequency change approved.
There we go.
432 Romeo.
Cessna 46 Golf, left or right?
Right turn, Alpha 3, 46 Golf.
The 46 Golf, right, Alpha 3, contact ground.
Right, Alpha 3 over to ground, 46 Golf.
Number 5 Lima Delta, number 2, follow Cessna, short final, runway 17.
Going on the extended threshold. Playing on that, on the numbers there. This is a normal landing, no short stuff.
Sounds good.
Number 5 Lima Delta, negative, runway 17, cleared to land.
Little low on glide slope.
Lima Delta.
Alright. It's a weird runway. Never.
Yep. A little slow, a little low. Power.
I'll start backing out.
Yep, now you can start backing out. We were just pretty low and slow there. Good, there you go. It's just different, that's all. This runway's just different. A little bit of right aileron, there you go. All right, aileron. Good, that would have been a good soft field.
Full stop, or what were you doing?
We have to do a full stop taxi back. We'll get off at Alpha 3. I'm gonna bring your flaps up just so you get more braking power.
Okay.
November, left to right.
We're full stop taxi back to 17.
Left to right.
4 Delta November, left to right, next taxiway, contact ground.
Oh, copy that. We'll go right off at Alpha 3. We'll switch ground.
Gillespie Tower 90246 November over at Allen Cap with uniform inbound, touch and goes.
Yeah, interesting glide slope.
November, Gillespie Tower.
We came in kind of fast and high, and then we came in like low energy.
Yeah,
it's just because it's a different runway. All right, I'll make this call here. Gillespie ground, good afternoon. 734 Delta November is off at Alpha 3, taxi back to 17.
734 Delta November, Gillespie ground, runway 17, taxi via Alpha, cross runway 27 left, 27 right.
Alpha cross 37 and right for 17, 4 Delta November.
4 Delta November, cross runway 27 left and 27 right.
Cross 27 left, 27 right for 4 Delta November. Alright, here we go. On the Alpha.
Skyhawk 5291 Echo at +1, taxi runway 17 with uniform.
5291 Echo, Gillespie ground.
Is this supposed to be the line I'm supposed to be on, the solid line?
Yeah, this L1. This is actually good because it's a little more realistic as to how you can slow down a little bit. This is a little more realistic as to how an actual check ride will go too. Like you might be doing full stop taxi backs.
Okay.
Because if it's busy, which during your check ride it very well may be, you won't be able to do a stop and go.
Right.
So you'll probably have to do full stop taxi backs like we just did.
Read back from 901 Echo again?
So it's still the same thing. You get off the runway, then you do your post-landing checklist, you know, the flaps to make sure all that shit. Then you call ground, tell them, hey, we want to taxi back to 17. That kind of stuff. Cool, that's your normal landing. Just for the sake of time, we can do a, let's see, we already did a soft field takeoff. We'll do a soft field landing, or no, we'll do a short field landing back at home because we're going to try to do two-way left. So that leaves us with a short field takeoff, I believe. We've done a soft field takeoff. We need to do a short field takeoff. Always check your runways. Yeah, so we pretty much need a short field takeoff, and then going back into home field, we'll do a soft field landing or a short field landing. Okay. Although, have you done a soft field landing yet? No, you haven't. Yeah, we haven't done it. Yeah, so we'll have to do two landings here.
Calling ground, say again.
They're frustrated right now.
I bet.
Alright, slow it down. Up with tower.
That's one traffic on base runway.
We're just asking him to turn.
Yeah, you can just say holding short, runway 17.
Oh, yeah, it's going to stay in the part.
I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Tower 734 Delta November, holding short, runway 17. Seeing if we can do a touch and go or two.